Speaking of tech, Elon Musk just announced that he plans to build his own utopia in Austin, Texas. Just gets a laugh on the premise. With affordable housing for his employees. I mean, he is a visionary. He does. I mean, we didn't see electric cars or landable rockets or, living on Mars. I mean, this guy thinks big. What are your thoughts? By the way, if I was going to build utopia, all respect to Austin, I wouldn't put it there. I mean, that's just me. And I like Austin. I like Austin a lot. Sure. I keep it weird every time I go.
Elon Musk's utopia, right? Picture this. The stage lights blaze, the audience hums with anticipation, and it's another Anything Goes night on Real Time with Bill Maher. Tonight's headline guest, none other than Musk himself, dropping his latest bombshell. His grand plan, a workers' utopia in Austin, Texas, complete with affordable housing, innovation hubs, and the full sci-fi startup fantasy. Think Silicon Valley 2.0, but, supposedly, within reach but not so fast. Maher and his panel of heavyweights aren't just smiling politely, they're tearing into the dream live on air. Is Musk really a visionary sketching humanity's future, or just another billionaire spinning an ego-driven fever dream? The conversation cuts deep, philosophy, at 2 a.m. deep, into the harsh truth of building a perfect society in an imperfect world. And as the banter ricochets between sarcasm, hard truths, and brutal reality checks, it becomes clear. This is one of those nights where ambition collides with reality, and reality hits back.
He's thought hard enough about how a utopia would actually work beyond the kind of Disney World, beautiful picture that it would be in the beginning. I don't trust him to do this. I think I'd rather see a bunch of people put their heads together. But
there's no such thing as utopia. How about that?
Well, there's that
don't ever use the word utopia or think you can create a utopia under it. What a fool's errand that
Everybody would be
Talk
happy
about an over-promising con man. I'm going to build a...
Also, utopia is a personal concept, and my personal concept isn't the same as Elon's, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And so, my first thought was like, well, I definitely will not be living there.
Elon Musk is at it again. Not content with rockets, EVs, or even flamethrowers, he's now pitching something bigger, a utopian town for his employees in Austin, Texas. Imagine it, affordable housing, sleek infrastructure, innovation around every corner. Sounds futuristic, maybe even inspiring. But hold up. Over on Real Time with Bill Maher, the panel isn't buying the sales pitch. They're tearing into the idea like it's an overcooked steak, raising the questions Musk conveniently left out. Can anyone really build a perfect society without tripping over messy, real-world problems? Here's the catch. Utopias aren't universal. They're defined by whoever's in charge. What looks like paradise to Musk could feel more like a billionaire's pet project to the people living in it. Governance, diversity, sustainability, those thorny, human complications, are already flashing red on paper. Musk's dream town shines like Silicon Valley 2.0. But turning it into reality, that's less utopia and more mission to Mars. Ambitious, risky, and maybe impossible.
If any, can we expect the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank? Oh, yes, to have on our financial system. If you didn't see, I saw this has just happened in a Silicon Valley Bank, one of the biggest banks in Silicon Valley, obviously they're tech, right? That's what they finance. I think the biggest bank failure since the 2008 crash. I guess we should have seen it coming because there's been a lot of layoffs and Bitcoin. Is this what this bank is, Bitcoin?
So Silicon Valley Bank is this 40-year-old bank from the Valley. It was designed and funded originally to make sure that startups, which have a tough time getting money, could get some money. If this were called the Lehigh Valley Bank, we would not really be paying that much attention to it. It's the Silicon Valley Bank part that's sexy, but the truth is it's a small bank. So it's got about 150 billion in capital. JP Morgan has 3 trillion. The only reason to be concerned about it is the knock-on effects of confidence, but it's a small bank that got caught short. It's the oldest story in the world.
But are we bailing out Bitcoin losers?
No, it's not.
Okay.
This is not about Bitcoin.
All right.
This is about a shortfall where they misaligned their bond spending with the amount coming in. They lost depositor confidence. It happened overnight. It's possible this gets contained.
Is it absolutely central to the startup industry, or is it just a bank that some startups?
It used to be 40 years ago. It is no longer central.
Silicon Valley Bank. Yeah, the same bank that practically babysat half the startup world, just imploded. And while it's not another 2008-level catastrophe, it's still a harsh wake-up call about how fragile the financial system really is. Here's the short version. SVB was living large, hoarding long-term bonds like Pokemon cards. Then interest rates spiked, those bonds tanked, and when startups started yanking their deposits all at once, the bank simply didn't have the cash. Classic bank-run chaos. Cue the missing movie scene of someone screaming, "Sell everything!" But here's the kicker. SVB wasn't just any bank. It was laser-focused on startups and tech, an industry that's already a roller coaster on a good day. So when the mood shifted from "we're innovating" to "we're burning cash," that hyper-concentration of risk lit up like a giant neon sign. We're screwed. The takeaway? SVB's downfall wasn't just about bad bets. It's a brutal reminder that even the so-called smart money can get caught asleep at the wheel. And for mid-sized banks trying to juggle innovation and stability, it's less a cautionary tale and more a masterclass in what not to do.
Supposed to go to college. Everybody is supposed to get a good, solid high school education. That's another rant. But then you're supposed to go out and ply a trade unless you want to do the rather rarefied thing of go to college. That's one way that the old days were better than now. It's mission creep that everybody goes to college. And it's not true that if you don't go to college, you are going to be selling pencils on the street. There are many perfectly legitimate careers. We just need to learn how to talk about it more.
Right.
The other thing that
Could not agree more.
there's another phenomenon that I think is fascinating, which is kids are learning how to do stuff professionally from YouTube.
That's a good point.
And so if you are a coder, more often than not, you're watching a 90-minute video on how to use CSS, and it's moving at your own pace, frequently much faster than the education system can possibly get you there.
Go to school.
One example from this weekend, the Daniels, the guys who directed Everything Everywhere All at Once, they went to film school, and they are the ones who say, don't ever go to film school. Watch YouTube, and learn it, and
Well, that's for sure. That's for sure true about the arts.
about the arts, for sure.
You don't need school for the arts. In fact, they
MFA.
probably make it work.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
either you have it or you don't. I mean, it's just not something you can learn in
Just a guy
school.
with a PhD and a guy with an MA.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but still. Don't be like us.
Don't be like us.
Okay, so you can learn that on YouTube. But what about, you mentioned Shakespeare. Now, let me read into that. Were you saying Shakespeare is past his prime?
I was being hyperbolic, but
Do you still like Shakespeare?
I think Shakespeare is a swell guy, but you should learn. You should learn about him in high school. All of that should be packed in. Much more should be packed into the high school education. Maybe even have a 13th grade. Then, if you're going to go into finance, go work in a bank. You can work in a bank when you're 19. That's the way I would like it to be. Shakespeare's great, but the 4 years where your mind is being expanded, expand your mind when you're a teenager, then go get a job. There's nothing abnormal about it.
They're expanding their minds when they're expanding.
Let's get real. College enrollment in America is tanking. And honestly, it's not a mystery why. For decades, college was sold as the golden ticket. Get the degree, land the career, live the dream. But now, more and more people are asking the obvious. Is it really worth it? Think about it. You're looking at 4 years, tens of thousands in debt, all for a piece of paper that doesn't even guarantee a job. Meanwhile, real-world skills, coding, digital marketing, trades, you can learn them faster, cheaper, and without selling your soul to Sally Mae. And the system itself? Bloated. You're stuck in dorms, paying interest on loans you barely understood when you signed, grinding through random classes you'll never use. Somewhere along the line, higher education drifted away from training people for careers and morphed into this overpriced coming-of-age ritual that doesn't fit everyone. College isn't dead. But the old mindset that everyone needs a 4-year degree is crumbling. And honestly, it's about time. If you got value from this breakdown, hit like, share it with your crew, and don't forget to subscribe with the notification bell on so you never miss a drop. We appreciate you being here. You're the reason we keep doing this. Catch you in the next one.